The 1999 film The Matrix showed us the possibility that everything we know, our entire world and reality, may just be one big computer simulation. As such, the term glitch in the matrix has become popular over the past couple decades as a shorthand way for people to explain strange things that have happened to them that have no logical explanation. And it does seem that as time goes by and things keep getting crazier in this world, people have some bizarre stories to share. So, here are 4 insane stories of glitches in the Matrix. Number 4. The 1987 tablet. In the late 1980s, the world was just beginning to embrace the dawn of personal computing. Bulky desktops and clunky laptops were the norms, far from today's sleek touch-enabled devices. It was during this era, in a small English primary school, where the ordinary of then crossed paths with the extraordinary of things to come. The story begins with the arrival of a student named Lee, an American with his distinct accent and red hair. According to Mary, who told the story from her childhood, for the most part, Lee blended into the daily school routine. He was unremarkable, really, for the most part, except for one striking incident that would leave its mark on Mary and all those who witnessed it. One day, Lee brought something into school that defied all the technological capabilities of the time. It resembled what we know now as a tablet or iPad. This item was thin, with a slightly tanned colored glass screen. And on the device, since these kids were in grade school, he showed it playing cartoons, which blew everyone's mind and was a marvel considering the era's limited digital animation. Back then, the only way to broadcast something like this would be to have a bulky VCR, which this certainly wasn't. The reaction among Lee's schoolmates was a mix of awe and casual acceptance. Some thought it was cool, but for Mary, she immediately was blown away because she understood that this should not have been something even possible. This was no ordinary gadget. It was more akin to the handheld devices depicted in science fiction, a concept far beyond the grasp of 1987 technology. Lee, of course, was vague about the origins of this mysterious device, only mentioning that his father had brought it from the US. He kept it hidden from teachers that day, and then never brought it in again, leaving a trail of questions unanswered. A more popular story and video that maybe you've seen echoes this exact story. It's from a 1995 Mike Tyson fight where in the crowd, someone appears to be filming the event on what looks exactly like our modern-day smartphones. It has a white shiny case, is flat, and it looks to have a camera on it. But of course, these didn't exist in 1995, so what was this person holding? Over the years, as technology advanced and tablets became commonplace, Mary's recollection of Lee's device transformed from a perplexing memory to something more. And she wondered if somehow, some way, he was able to get his hands on this technology by having access to the future. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but then again, neither did what she witnessed back in '87. And so, this is just another strange example of what might be a glitch in our matrix. Number 3. The Surreal Garage Encounter. In the rhythmic flow of day-to-day life, every once in a while, there are instances so startling and so strange, they can compel you to question the very fabric of what our reality is. One such instance occurred to a woman in Kentucky named Kathy, who was simply wrapping up another day at work, when her ordinary day transformed into something that she couldn't explain. Now, this day was nothing special. It was winter, and with the sun laying low, Kathy headed towards her car, which was parked on the 6th floor of a commercial garage near her job. As she entered, the hum of the city faded into the background, replaced by her echoing footsteps moving along the concrete. As she walked up the first floor ramp, she stopped near a large white GMC Yukon Denali because it had its lights on. She thought that they may be backing up, but then she saw the driver's side door was still partially open. As she continued, she noticed the driver, his leg halfway outside the car as if he were still getting in, only he wasn't moving at all. It was like he was frozen in time or perhaps even glitching. There was a passenger too, and he wasn't moving as well. Both were dressed similarly in light-colored shirts, and with a blank, expressionless look, they just stared at her as she walked by. Continuing around the bend and up to the second floor ramp, Kathy wrestled with understanding what she just saw. She thought she might be tired from the day, and if that's all she witnessed, perhaps no one would have ever heard about it, even though it was strange. But as she made her way across the second floor, a chilling sense of deja vu enveloped her, because there it was, the same white SUV in an identical position with the same two men mirroring their previous actions with eerie precision. Again, they weren't moving. The impossibility of the situation was overwhelming and terrifying. The logic of space and time crumbled in that moment, as there was no way they could have passed her without her noticing. None of it made sense. Part of Kathy wanted to approach and get a better look, but her instinct to get away was far more powerful than her curiosity. The surrealness of it all made her think that perhaps she was losing her mind. However, in her heart, she knew she wasn't. She understood that this was something beyond her understanding, and nothing like that has ever happened before to her or since. So, if this story is to be believed, then what was it in all actuality? There were no surveillance cameras to check, so we have to take her word. But the next story may actually help explain what it was she saw. And if you yourself have experienced any sort of glitch in the Matrix, or even the Mandela effect, or you just think things are strange, well, it may just explain those too. Number 2. Do you remember 2012? In the shadows of our collective memory, there lurks a year that stands as a fulcrum in the timeline of our existence, 2012. A year marked by an undercurrent of foreboding, fueled by ancient prophecies and modern anxieties. A year when the Mayan calendar's end was interpreted by many as a harbinger of the apocalypse, and coincidentally, or perhaps right on cue, amidst this crescendo of doom lay the silent, pulsing heart of scientific endeavor, CERN's Large Hadron Collider. Here, beneath the serene landscapes of France and Switzerland, scientists were engaged in a high-stakes cosmic gamble in their quest to unravel the mysteries of the Higgs boson, a particle theorized to be the linchpin in the architecture of the universe. But their pursuit was not without controversy, and voices from all corners of society, from protesters to self-proclaimed time travelers, warned of unintended consequences, the unraveling of reality itself. In 2012 passed, however, without celestial cataclysms or paradoxical implosions. The Higgs boson was discovered, a triumph of human intellect, yet the fabric of reality remained seemingly intact. And life continued, but not as we knew it. So what if everything changed that year and we were set out on another trajectory of reality? Another dimension, if you will. It may sound crazy, but it is possible that this was the ending of the world that the Mayans had predicted, and that our world is now unraveling right in front of us, and we don't even know it, unless we look for it. If you fast forward to our present day, we all know that our world, which was once bound by predictable rhythms, now dances to an unpredictable tune. Events that once seemed impossible now unfold with startling regularity. From the surreal ascent of unlikely political figures to the absurdity of celebrity antics, global pandemics, and wars at every corner of the world. The boundary, it seems, between the plausible and the bizarre has been completely blurred. It's in this backdrop of escalating weirdness that a new theory emerges, one that looks back at 2012 as a turning point where our collective trajectory took an imperceivable yet irreversible detour. And consider the quantum realm, where probabilities reign supreme and the ordinary laws of cause and effect become more unstable. The Higgs boson, the key to this quantum puzzle, was believed to be the mediator of gravity, the force that anchors us to reality as we perceive it. But what if, in uncovering this fundamental particle, we inadvertently loosen that anchor? 3 weeks after the Higgs boson's discovery, the sun unleashed a colossal solar flare, cosmic near miss of catastrophic proportions. Was this just a celestial coincidence or a symptom of a deeper cosmic unraveling? And this theory posits a chilling possibility that our reality, once nestled within a cluster of probable outcomes, is now drifting away into realms of increasing improbability. And each year, events grow more outlandish, and each headline more bewildering. As we delve deeper into this hypothesis, the fabric of our current existence begins to take a new shape. The rise of outlandish conspiracy theories, the denial of scientific evidence, and even the many examples of the Mandela effect, all seemingly inexplicable phenomena, become signposts of our drift into the improbable. If it is happening, how far can we stray from the path of probability before the fabric of our reality tears apart? If we know it's happening, can we change it and reverse course? All these glitches in the matrix may be happening for a reason, because a little more than a decade ago, our collective reality completely changed. Number 1, a community's tragedy. Our memories are interesting, and some are vivid, others obscured by the mist of time. One thing's for certain, each of us believe that our memories are correct, at the very least real. But what if you had a vivid memory of something that you grew up with, only to find out it never happened at all? In Florence, South Carolina, the tightly knit community experienced a tragedy when Madison, a high school junior, died tragically in a car accident. The girl's vehicle, a casualty of a moment's distraction, plummeted off an exit ramp that was under construction. The community in Florence was shaken and the grief palpable. The funeral was attended by many, including her classmate Laura and Laura's sister. As the years passed by and life moved on, Laura, now living far removed from those childhood streets, would occasionally recall the tragedy, using it as a somber reminder of life's fragility. She had grown up and had a fiancé now. It had been 10 years since the accident that from time to time came up in conversation when she'd visit home. But then, just one ordinary day, the past, or at least what Laura thought was the past, came back in an eerie and very strange way. Laura's husband-to-be, a stranger to the town and its history, casually browsing through social media, stumbled upon a startling revelation. Madison, the girl whose death had been etched into Laura's memory for so long, was apparently alive and well. Bewilderment took hold as she grappled with this impossible reality. Of course, this couldn't be real, but as she asked around, her community, once united in grief as she recalled, now showed no sign of remembering the tragedy. Friends and family, even Laura's sister, were perplexed, and none of them recalled the accident or the somber funeral that had followed. The narrator's memory, once a shared tapestry of the town's loss, now stood as an isolated, inexplicable anomaly. And so, this unsettling revelation casts a shadow over the reliability of our memories as a whole. And even though you trust your own brain more than anything else in this world, now you have to ask yourself, is it really that reliable? So there were 4 insane stories of glitches in the Matrix. Now, who knows if these are real or not, but more importantly, does that even matter? Because in your heart, if you look deep, you know that something's just not right in the world today. Has your perception changed as you've gotten older, or has your entire reality changed? Your mind is now scrambling just to keep up with the chaos. Thanks for tuning in. If you like that one, check out some of these other strange and scary true crime videos that we have for you over here on the right. I hope we earned your subscription today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon.